Hey guys, welcome to another episode from Intellect Digest. I'm Rohit Khurana, your host. Let's get started with this video. In this video, I'm gonna give you a quick unboxing and hands-on overview of the Microsoft Lumia 650 dual SIM variant. First thing in the box is the phone itself, underneath which you will find some documentation, a 2000 mAh battery, a standard wall charger, and a standard pair of earphones. Please note that the wall charger comes with the cable attached and there is no data cable bundled, so you have to use your own data cable with this phone. Coming to the phone, the build quality and the construction of the phone looks impressive. It uses a metal frame all around with a polycarbonate back which is nicely built and is soft to touch. It's matte finished. On the front there is a 5-inch 720p AMOLED display which comes with clear black technology and looks very vivid and rich. Underneath the display you find 3 buttons which are a part of the display itself, and there are no bezel buttons. On the bottom of the phone there is a front firing speaker. On top there is standard earpiece, and on top right there is a front facing 5 megapixel camera with f-stop 2.2 aperture. It is capable of recording 720p videos. On the right hand side of the phone there is power or wake up key followed by volume rocker on top of it, and both are finished in metal and are fairly tactile buttons. The build and feel of the phone in hand is really good. On top is a 3.5mm audio port and secondary mic hole for noise cancellation. Left side is totally clean and the bottom gets a charging port. The rear of the phone gets an 8 megapixel shooter which comes with f-stop 2.2 again, with a 28mm equivalent lens, autofocus, LED flash and a large sensor of 1/4 inches. It is also capable of recording 720p videos, but sadly there is no full high definition video support here. The back cover is removable and gives you access to the battery compartment, 2 nano SIM card slots and a micro SD card for memory expansion. It comes with 16 GB of internal memory and can be expanded by up to 200 gigs using a micro SD card. Now let's talk about the multimedia performance of this phone. The display here is vivid, sharp and is very good in saturation and colors. The contrast ratios are also very nice and viewing angles are pleasing. So in terms of display department, this phone ranks highly. The audio quality from the front firing single bottom speaker is also fairly loud and audible. Although it does not produce stereo effects because it's a single speaker, but it suffices for most video consumption if you are streaming videos or loading video movies onto this phone. Next up, cameras. The 5 megapixel front shooter does create good quality selfies. The detailing is ample, but there is slight amount of graininess that can be observed when you zoom into the pictures or when the pictures are taken in slightly dark conditions. The rear facing camera, which is an 8 megapixel shooter, does a decent job when it comes to taking pictures. The focus is spot on, the exposure is not a trouble, and the pictures are good enough for an 8 megapixel shooter, but you cannot compare it with high-end camera phones. Next up, specifications and benchmarks. This is one area where I have most complaints. Although it does not lag in real life usage, but the specifications that it uses are very bare bone. It uses a Snapdragon 212 chip with a 1.3 GHz clock speed. It's a quad-core Cortex A7 chip with Adreno 304 GPU. The specs on paper and in reality are very different. The benchmarks numbers are not very encouraging, but the real-life performance of this phone with optimized Windows 10 operating system on top of it is very smooth and stutter-free. Gives you a good and decent performance without any sort of lags, and even games like Asphalt 8 play with ease on this phone. So I must praise the optimizations that have gone into this operating system and the hardware. But on the flip side, you do not have much RAM to multitask, you do not have much internal memory, and you do not have much processing power. And that reflects when you open a picture in gallery. It takes a few seconds to load and there are lags here and there in certain applications, but once you are in the interface or once you are browsing through apps, there is hardly any trouble. So if you are willing to compromise on the lower specs, the performance here is livable. The internet browsing experience, call quality, etc. have all been pleasing. We have tested by connecting a USB OTG pen drive to this, and sadly it does not show up in the file browser. So our unit does not support USB OTG. Probably we need some extra software support or some tweaking here. but in stock it does not work with OTG pen drives. Talking of battery, there is a 2000 mAh battery, and from Windows Phone standards that's a decent battery size. It will easily give you one full day of usage. As per the official numbers, it gives you up to 16 hours of talk time on 2G and 13 hours on 3G. And last but not the least, value for money. This is one area where I'm most concerned about. At 15,000 rupees, Lumia 650 competes with phones which come with much higher specifications, much better build quality in the Android segment. But if you are looking for Windows phones, that too running Windows 10, you would hardly find any phones. So if you are someone who wants a Windows phone badly and wants the latest of software, this is probably the only choice that you have got in this price segment. You can also look at other phones from Lumia series wherein you will get better specification or similar specifications at lower price, but you would not get the metallic build and you would not get the Windows 10 operating system right out of the box. So the price is the biggest compromise here. In absolute terms, this phone is a good performer, is a sleek phone, looks and feels good in hand, does what it does very well, and does not have any fancy bells or whistles to sell it. At the end of the day, it gets the job done. If you want to buy one for yourself, I'm leaving Best Buy links in the description section below where you can pick up one at the Best Buy price. If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up by pressing the like button below and stay subscribed for more videos. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.